psychoanalyst and mental health therapist. And tonight I have to dig a little bit into my mental health bag because OWN has released a show called Put a Ring on It, Cheat Lab or Cheat Hab, rehab for cheating. It is, let's just get into it. I'm gonna get straight into it. Okay, so there are, oh my goodness. The way I came on this live unprepared because I am really annoyed with what I'm watching. Um, I want to pull up the actual cast list for this first season. I've watched Ohms. I've watched Ohms put a ring on it before. Um, and in the first iteration of the show, it gave, you know, sitting down talking with a therapist. Um, and it's pretty much what I've experienced in therapeutic settings, both as the practitioner and the patient. You know, um, no therapy session is good if it's not giving you a safe space to talk about your real life, what you're really experiencing, and giving you what's really going on from your personal experience and your you should be safe to tell the truth about what you're going through, as well as the therapist should be giving you very honest professional feedback about what he or she is witnessing and how that applies in a therapeutic context. Um, so a lot of that therapy speak that people try to adopt in regular everyday jargon, regular everyday language, things that you've heard therapists say that you're trying to like now adopt in everyday life. For example, everybody is harping on what a narcissist is, and 90% of y'all get it wrong. 90% of you are using the term narcissist in a way that is not what is defined in the DSM 5. So to see the first iteration of Put a Ring on It, I was like, okay, this is sort of kind of what's supposed to happen in a therapy session. Um, but I also took into account like the camera effect. It doesn't matter who you are, myself included. When a camera is put on you, you automatically want to be on your best behavior. For example, the little flyaways that's going on with my hair right now, on the inside, I'm bugging because the camera is on. But I had something I really wanted to say. So I swept back what I could, and we here now. Everybody has that effect. Everybody goes through that when the camera's on because you always want to be perceived in the best light. No one likes to have negative things said about them. Even when we do say, I got zero F's to give, we don't really mean that. What we are really saying is, I'm going to choose to hold my power of not letting what you think affect how I perceive myself. I'm not going to surrender my power to you. The power of defining my identity for whatever the situation is. That's what we actually mean when we say, I got zero fucks to give. That's what we really mean, right? So I felt safe with the first iteration of Put a Ring on It. But now we're in the Chehab. And as a viewer, I do not feel safe. I do not feel safe. As a current marriage and family therapy student, I'm disgusted with what I'm looking at all the way around. I'm I've asked myself and my husband, which is the main reason I started doing these type of lives, is because I'm always talking his ear off with how I feel and what my opinions are. And I should just be telling that to y'all, whoever cares to listen, right? Um, so for this iteration of Put a Ring on It, the professional here is Dr. Stacy J. Johnson. Um, and then she's working with three couples, Dominique and Travis, Mia and Jaron, and Mimi and Joshua. I'm just going to get to the flagrant offender first, Joshua and Mimi. The one thing Dr. Stacy called out that I agree with is that Mimi needs to be doing her own inner work as to why she is making unhealthy relationship choices. Mainly staying with Joshua when he is clearly not what she feels she deserves. And I'm not saying her feeling is wrong. I agree. No one deserves a Joshua. He came in gaslighting her, lying to her, and he is so childish. So childish. Telling her, telling us in the confessional that he didn't tell Mimi what happened on the date because women get emotional. Sir, I'm going to need you to just grow up and say, I didn't tell Mimi what happened on the date because what happened on the date would make her leave me, and that's not what I want, so I didn't tell her. That's the truth. And it irked my nerves because I am someone who, in the men that I've surrounded myself with in my real life, I keep getting told this narrative of, Sean, you're not like most women. You're not like most women. And for a long time, women, we've been, I want to say, we've been socialized to think that being better than the next woman is the move, is the thing. I I don't know if it's because I'm getting older, but um there's a song. Let me pull it up because I want to say her name right. Haley Steinfeld has a song called Most Girls. And she talks about general things that all women have in common. And in the hook, she sings, I want to be like most girls. And that's me. I'm smart, I'm strong, I'm beautiful. I have moments where I need to be vulnerable. I have moments where I need to be protected. I have moments where I can defend myself without raising my voice. I can just use the facts. And then I have other moments where I can be sassy and read you down, right? But I'm multifaceted, I'm layered. Most women are like that. Most women. So there actually shouldn't be a problem with being like most girls. It just shouldn't. And to be told that I use logic and then that makes me different than most girls, I've never co-signed to that. All humans have emotions. So anytime any man says women are emotional, I find that to be a form of gaslighting because men are also emotional. Humans are are emotional. That's what sets us apart from almost every other species. We are free willed, and we are emotional. That's what sets us apart. So to tell me that me being a woman means that I'm emotional and or more emotional than a man, no. No. I choose to repress my emotions less than men do because men are conditioned to repress their emotions. And they tend to go to the emotion that they have the easiest access to, which is anger, which is the easiest to access because it's sitting on top of all the other pent up, repressed emotions. Underneath that anger, behind that anger, is so many other emotions that if you had just processed and owned up to those emotions, you wouldn't even have to deal with the anger. So don't tell me that because I'm a woman, I'm emotional. So when Joshua says this in the confessional, I'm like, he's not only gaslighting Mimi, he gaslighting all of us. All of us. This is what he thinks of women at large, not just Mimi. She's not special in this. She's not special in this. The woman that walks in the house for Joshua says, "Where's my man?" looks at Mimi and goes, "He cheated on me with you." And then they leave, and she's telling Joshua on the date, well, she didn't care about me when you cheated on me with her. And cut to Mimi in her confessional saying, I didn't know anything about this woman because he cares not for either of you. Neither of you. And I'm sitting here like just watching this, like this own must be cutting the checks. Because in real life, there's no way that a woman could walk into your house, tell you that this is her man, that he cheated on her with you, and you stay. So on what's the check looking like? Cause this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Then we go to Mia and Jaren. Mia is giving throw the rock, hide the hand. Because the man that walks through the door for you after Jaren went on his date is his friend. That's a move women only make when we are done, when we are ready to go. Cardi B told Offset in the song, your favorite player, he in my DMs. That was after they were done, not during the relationship. That was after they were done. Like, girl, I see them using language that mirrors each other. Mia and Jaren are using language that mirrors each other. When Jaren went on his date, she was worried about how the girl looked, and she took, pride in that she felt like she looked better than the girl he went on the date with. And the girl he went on a date with was blatantly disrespectful, by the way. All of these women have been blatantly disrespectful. How you walk into a house where a man already has a woman and say, I don't care. Oh my goodness. The man she's going on a date with is supposedly Jaren's friend. And I'm like, do you want this man to know that you're done or how insecure you are? Because the language that they were mirroring, the language that Mia and Jaren were mirroring, was literally about insecurities. About, oh, does she look better than me? Oh, does he look better than me? Jaren had a fit about Mia's outfit, which was a nice bodycon romper that was practically see through. You could see her underwear. Um, and it's just There are some women, not a lot of women, that wear clothes to make them noticeable because they want to be seen. They don't feel like they are seen. It is a reflection of insecurity. It's not all women, it's not even most women, it's just some. And so Jaron clocked that, but in doing so, he also exposed that insecurity that indicates that he does not feel like he's enough for Jaron. So those two shouldn't even be talking to other people because other people aren't the issue. Their own insecurities are the issue. And then we get to Dominique and Travis. Travis's date, Travis clearly has a physical type. The girl he went on a date with looks like a physical mirror to Dominique. And she gave him a full court press, and he kept talking about Dominique all night. And that looks good, but hold your horse. Because Travis requests a second date with the girl. And his logic is he spent all night talking about Dominique, that he didn't follow the rule of radical honesty and really get down to what could be between him and the girl. That is given, it's clearly for the cameras, it's clearly for the cameras because you have to make a show. In real life, if you sat and all you talked about is your girlfriend, that is your answer in real life. So I'm really getting tired of seeing overproduced TV. And it's happening in all three couples. Fast forward to we get to Dominique. Her date shows up in a robe, a full fledged robe, only for us to find out that he makes robes for a living. And Dominique already knows this. And I see this man give his introduction to the camera, and I'm like, wait a minute. You're not even here for the girl. You're here to make a commercial. He made a commercial, y'all. Go and watch it for yourself. He can, when this originally aired, all he had to do was screen record his intro clip, and that's your commercial as seen on TV at the bottom. Like, really? This is all overly produced. These are not real world, real life settings. And so the entire concept of the show of seeing if you're ready to put a ring on it by dating people that you've cheated with to see if when I tell you this is so unnecessary, this is so unnecessary. This is such a viewership grab, and it's like a train wreck that I cannot look away from. I think the reason I can't look away from it is in every class that I study for in my master's degree program, you always have a portion of the class that's about ethics. And to me, this is just me, this show is very, very unethical in the mental health space. There's there's a such thing as exposure therapy, right? Which an argument could be made for this to be exposure therapy. However, we have a duty and a responsibility to first do no harm. And I see insecurities being literally attacked. I see unchecked gaslighting. I see roots of issues not quite being dug up yet, because when a man has a physical a physical pattern that he dates, it's an indicator. It's an indicator. And it's not the same indicator for all men, but there's a reason behind when a man and or woman, when period, if you're a human and you're watching this and you have a dating history where everyone that you date typically looks alike, there's a root trauma, a root situation as to why those features pull to you. And it's not always looks or features, it could be characteristics, like personality traits. Why you keep attracting the same person. There's a root to that. When Travis's date showed up looking just like Dominique and nobody said nothing, like, it's too much. It's too much. So I am going to continue to follow the show just kind of as a therapy student to see if it gets any better, right? Because OWN is supposed to be a respectable network in black spaces. We clearly see shows like Married at First Sight and Love Island and Love is Blind being completely irresponsible with black people, black women especially. So let's see if OWN is going to be responsible in this space, because right now I'm seeing a lot of irresponsibility. I'm deciding right here, right now, tonight, that I'm going to continue to follow the cheat hab. So if you are watching the show and you are following the show, follow me and we will start having discussions about it. I will make sure to bring up therapeutic concepts that I've already been learning about in class and pointing them out in the context of each couple's relationship dynamic. So if you're interested in that, go ahead, hit like, hit subscribe, and I will commit to being back here every week that an episode of this show drops. Thank you for listening to my rant. I will see you on the next episode. Bye.